We have a fantastic interview led by Jack Benjamin, who's reporter of The Media Leader, and Rob Gay, who's the CEO of Venatus. So please put your hands together and welcome to them to the stage.
Rob, I want to introduce you. I want to know a little bit about you. You've been working in gaming at Venatus for 13 years now, I believe, if that's correct.
Yeah.
And so tell me a little bit about what you guys do at Venatus and how you decided to co-found and then lead the company for so long.
Yeah, so Rob Gay founded Venatus 13 years ago. Prior to that, I ran a advertising sales house, monetization, for 10 years, so I've been doing it a long time. 13 years ago, we decided, myself and my business partner, to set up on our own. Gaming was pretty new at the time. It was casual gaming, it was mini-clip. We used to do ads on Farmville in Zynga, probably before most of you were born. And we've gone through the whole ecosystem now of gaming, and the idea was we wanted to set up a company that could do the 360 for gaming. So we're not just mobile, we're not just desktop, we're not just in-game, we can do the whole thing. So when an advertiser comes, we can sit down and we can have an honest opinion of what we can offer. Now, we didn't quite get the 360. We don't do the streaming of Twitch and YouTube, and we're not going to be able to compete with them. But the rest of gaming we covered off, and that's where we are. We have our own tech platform to do it, and we have our own sales team to go out there and educate.
I actually think we have a short clip that we can run now of what you guys do.
Okay.
Cool. We can't see it. Fantastic.
Great. I'm finished yet.
Some good audio there. So you mentioned sort of taking a 360-degree view. It's a really big ecosystem. We've talked a lot about it today already, but a bunch of terms that have sort of been thrown around today are in-game advertising and around-the-game advertising. Yeah. But I know that you have very specific definitions for in-game, around the game, and also away from the game.
That's our three definitions, yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious, could you break those down for me and for the audience?
Yes, if you talk about in-game, which is the buzzword at the moment, and everybody's talking about Roblox, in-game within mobile games, very brand aware. That is brand awareness. There's very little call to action that you can actually do in there. Then you go to around the game, and that's where we talk about reward video, M-raids, takeovers, etc. And then we talk about away from the game, which is kind of gets left off a bit at the moment. That's where we're talking about the communities and the review sites. And if you are a gamer, you will be going to these community sites. And if you play things like League of Legends or World of Warcraft or FIFA, you have set sites that you go to for your data, for your reviews, for your knowledge. That's where we also work in. And that is really key for advertisers to understand which area they should be in. Especially when you're starting off in gaming. Everybody gets paranoid. Everybody looks in and goes, right, I need to do in-game. I need to spend £500,000 with a activation into Roblox or into Fortnite. Well, there are other ways before you start in gaming. Let's do it gently. Let's work out what you've got. Let's work out your KPIs.
A little known fact about me is that when I was a teenager, I did write for some of the gaming forums, and I wrote video game reviews. And I'm looking at my editor right now, and he's like, had no idea. Probably wouldn't have hired me if he'd read some of those reviews.
And now you know more than me. So I'm really worried.
Can you tell me a little bit more about those communities and gaming sites, review forums? I mean, that sounds a bit older internet, but there's still lots of people on there. And if you're not part of those communities, you might not even know they exist.
Yep. So we look after all gaming sites. So we have gaming sites for Roblox, review for sites for Roblox, go and have a look at what's the new game, etc. We go right across. One of your panelists earlier was talking about CSGO, how big CSGO is. We look after a site called HLTV. Nobody would have heard of it unless you play CSGO. We look after a site called op.gg and Mobify for League of Legends. 200 million people play League of Legends every month, okay? And if you don't play League of Legends, you've never heard of op.gg. So as an advertiser, you'd never look to go there. Yet that has an amazing audience of generally 70% male, generally 16 to 40-year-olds in that genre. Now, as a mainstream advertiser, when you first want to start getting into gaming, It's daunting when you're looking at all these integrations you can do. Well, actually, you could start off with something like a Roblox review site or a CSGO review site, data site, and actually start off. That's where your audience is. You used to buy in traditional IAB ad units. You used to buy in takeovers. You used to buy in videos. So let's start gently. Let's look at what your demographics and KPIs are. Start that way, and then we can work our way into everything else. So there are 3 different areas. If you're looking at activations, etc., that's totally different to when you go back to takeovers and IABs, where you actually can see CTR, view-through rates of what you're actually getting. So that's key from our point of view.
And when would a brand partnership come into place? That's a bit bigger, perhaps.
Yeah, and brand partnership can go across all 3. You can look at, let's stick with Roblox. Yeah, you can spend $1 million and you can go and build an amazing world in Roblox. You still got to get people to go to it. Right? So one of the things that we generally look at with something like that is actually partnering with a game out there. I think one of your panelists mentioned it before. Find a partner that's got a game that's got 3 million of your demographics go into it. And the games, I think there's 400,000 games on Roblox. So let's do the 80-20. There's probably 5,000 really big games. But they specialize in different areas. It could be a Halloween game. It could be a Scale Electric kind of game. Work out what you're looking for and go and partner with one of them. Rebrand that game for a month. Now suddenly, for a fraction of the cost, you've actually got an experience. You've got a brand partnership where you've got 3, 4, 5 million people going there each week. If you go through to around the game, then we've done some, I think one of the ladies mentioned it before, with Candy Crush. We've done some stuff with, you do reward video, but then why not do a playable? Why not make a mini game? So then you can go, we look after Rovio and EA games, etc. But you work out where you want to go, what's your demographic. It might be FIFA, it might be Sims. We'll make a mini game for you using your brand products in there. So then you're associated to that game. And what you'll find is if you are a gamer, and I'm not talking about your quick 5-minute hyper-casual games, but if you're talking about games that people put a load of hours into, you get that brand affinity. Now suddenly, if you're the right brand alongside that, you get such a benefit from it.
Do all brands equally fit into these different places? So if you're, let's say, a P&G, or where would you recommend those types of brands, those types of clients start with? Let's say, as opposed to a Doritos, which perhaps has a closer affinity to the gaming audience, let's say. Or
again, if you look at P&G, you look at Unilever, for example, we've done loads of work with both, and you might have it might be a man's deodorant, or it might be Domestos, and you look at it and you're thinking, really, where does that fit in? The key is education, and it's not, and this is why I like what we do, is you can come to us with a RFP, and we don't have to fit a round peg into a square hole. We'll look at what your RFP is. And it might be perfect for mobile gaming, as Alex has said. It might be perfect for console, or it could be away from the game. Give us the product. Let's know what the demographics are. We have so much information, not just contextually, programmatically, etc., all the way through our games. So come to us with a product, tell us what your demographics are, and we'll work out where you should go. And that might be mobile gaming. It might actually be going back traditional. Let's stay away from the game, let's do some takeovers, let's do some videos, because you want to drive high CTR, because you actually want to sell X amount of Domestos products. But it's too much. One of the biggest problems I have with gaming is people are forcing people down one route. And I can sit here, if you give me the right brand, I can tell you that mobile gaming, as Alex just said, is absolutely perfect for you. I can also tell you that console is perfect for a different brand, same as the way of the game, etc. So don't just get obsessed with the preconception that a lot of agencies do have about gaming. A lot of people say, gaming, all right, it's just kids. Or it's just mums. Or it's the 26-year-old student in his basement playing Call of Duty. Everybody games. Let's just find the right games for you.
At what point would you feel comfortable going to a client and be like, all right, let's go big. Let's do something big in-game. I know you mentioned earlier that might not be the best fit for everyone, especially not people starting out.
Well, we just saw that presentation from Havas. Yeah. Fantastic. The results were amazing. That's a big call.
Yeah.
That's a small video film coming out, so a lot of budget went into it. Obviously did it brilliant and it worked really well, which is great. But that is a big call to do.
It's interesting you say that, sorry. I think it's not a big call.
Which it worked.
Well, but I think shoving your trailers into digital landfill when you're up against such competition that feels like a stupid thing to do. Doing something where you've got everything that you're saying, an engaged audience who are leaning in, who are paying attention, who are going to spend an hour with you, should be. We need to flip the mentality.
If it's been educated properly, and that was, because that was a great place to put it. Gaming is littered with campaigns that have gone wrong, and people not coming back. And the P&G, they'll go, somebody's convinced them to do £100,000 on this, and they've got no ROI on it. I could have told them that before, because that's what the activation they did. So it's the education going through, and that is the key. So I'd always recommend people start relatively small. Let's work out what the audience is, gain the trust, and then we can open it out. We've got clients that have been with us. 5 years ago, they were spending 20 grand, and now they're doing 3 or 4 million globally. Education, start sensibly, go in and get it right. Because I want you advertising for the next 5 years. I just don't want your money now.
Right. Do we have actually any other questions? We have a few minutes. If there are questions in the audience, I'm happy to go to it. You have another one, yeah?
I love everything that you're saying. Quite boomy voice.
I can hear you.
Do you find that it's, this question might answer itself. There are some clients who have realised there's an opportunity here, and obviously it's easier to talk to them. There are others where you go, this is perfect for you, but it's so alien to them that how do you get them into the space? Okay,
going to be controversial now. Talking to clients is much easier. Clients understand their brand, totally get it, look at what they're looking to do. The problem is when you're talking to agencies and trying to then, because they've got to then take that story away, and it's not, it's everybody tries to keep the job. We've been buying this for the last 10 years. Why are we going to change? If we can get in with clients and explain it and see it through. And also, you get great agencies that do test it and try it and do amazing and get amazing rewards for it. If we can get in there and educate them so it works, because that's the key. If it doesn't work, we're all burnt. And everybody, there's probably 7 different companies here who are selling gaming. If one of them burns them in mobile or burns them in console or whatever like that, they're burnt for gaming. And there's stats all over the place about how big gaming is. We all know it's huge. It's the biggest entertainment there out there. We just need brands to trust the environment they go into.
Any other quick questions? Okay, I have one last question for you. We got about a minute left. You mentioned you've given a lot of really good advice, I think, so far. In terms of marketers, when they get back to their desks, what today, probably tomorrow, especially if they're staying for drinks. What would be the first thing that you would recommend they do in general?
Okay, Venatus.com. There's a nice little page on there. I would take an RFP, take a brand, even an old one, Speak to the likes of us. There are other companies out there just as good. Try and get one that does everything, so they're not biased on what they're selling into you. Give them a brief and let them come back. And if they come back with an intelligent, well looked into, then give it a test. You've got so much media spend. All the stats show you that everybody is gaming. If we can get them in the right environment, they're so engaged. The results speak for themselves. And that's why gaming has gone, biggest thing that I've concentrated on, or us as a company over the last 5 years, is non-endemic advertisers. So it's been not easy, but getting PlayStation and EA and film companies to come and advertise with us, it's been relatively easy. Getting the non-endemics, COVID benefited gaming because a lot more people gamed and a lot more people started to advertise into gaming, and they stuck with it. Government, Unilever, Mercedes, Visa, they're all huge brands that are now embracing it. And the UK and the US, we lead what we're doing. And what we're seeing now is that's now panning out the rest of EMEA and campaigns going out there. So start small, come, get educated, do it right first time. I'd rather take 10,000 now and expand it out than take 100,000 and blow it.
And then you can get big after, if it works.
If you get educated properly, it'll work.
There you go. All right, Rob, thanks so much for chatting with me.
Cheers, Jack. Thank you. Oops.